Greetings! Welcome back to SmartWatch Ticks. Oh my gosh, just when I thought I might be getting caught up, and you've seen how many smartwatches we've been reviewing recently, well, just when I think I'm getting caught up, I'm getting double teamed. Oh my goodness, I've got not one, but two things in this box. Oh, we got to review them. Should I review this one or this one? This one? This one? This one? This one? Okay, I'll review this one. This one it is then. And what a thing it is. It's a fitness band. You've seen that word before. Whoa, yes indeed. The XIAOMI AMAZFIT product line has just expanded into really tight plastic that I don't have my slitter with me, so I'm going to have to use the scissors to open it up. There we go. Let's get inside this puppy, see what we've got. It's an AMAZFIT fitness band of sorts. And if you're familiar with watching some of our videos that we've done, we can definitely safely say that AMAZFIT makes some quality products. Look at the box already. Doesn't that look like something from a nice high-end store? Move beautifully. Ooh, and it does indeed. Wrapped in a little plastic sleeve. You know, some of the best fun is unpackaging. I don't know if you guys get into it as much as I do, but it's really neat to see how they make these things attractive just in unwrapping. Not a little thing I got to pull off the front. No, they wrap this one completely with a plastic cover and a band that's already in position so you know how to do it. Snaps off this way. Oh my, here's a new thing. You see these two metal things that are going to touch your arm? I wonder what they do. There's your optical heart rate sensor, and there's your little charging ports. But now we've got something, a galvanic skin resistance device. Is it going to make your body act like an antenna so you can pick up AM radio with your teeth? Yeah, you could. Way back in the 1950s, 60s, you could do that. I digress. Maybe it's a lie detector. You know, those lie detector things where you see the graph going and yeah, I have no idea, but there's some new technology on the back of this thing. This thing. I don't even know if we call it a band anymore. It's a thing. Okay, we lift up the cover, and inside we've got a box with its own little opening slat thing. Uh-oh, was I supposed to do that? Shh, don't tell them. Here it is. Okay, we'll open it on this end. And in here is the very special, I'm sure because I saw those two pins on the bottom. So it has its own unique kind of a charger. Yeah, it's not a standard charger, so be careful with this one. You don't want to lose it. It's a rubber band. USB on one end, but this end, wow. It's a little rectangular connector. Not that way. Yeah, that way. We always check this ever since we had some watches that it just fell right off on. It's solid, goes on good, nice, but it's the only one, so be careful. You're not going to want to lose this. Because of this, I can see there's no slot that you would stick anything in, so this is going to have good waterproofing. I'm pretty sure this thing's solid waterproofing. And then a special little package with our own special little manual that gives us information in Chinese. Is it all in Chinese? It's all in Chinese. All right, we're going to look at the pictures then. We're going to play Pictionary and try to figure out from here. Hey, it looks like the band's removable. What's that? Is it like you can take it off completely from the module? Looks like it. Okay, here's more information. The charger. Things you can see when you touch it. Ah, good. There's a QR code to scan. That looks familiar. That'll bring up the app that we use to tether with. And I presume this watch is going to be heavy on tethering because that's where you're going to accumulate your data. I hope the app also supports English. Some more information here. And here. And that's it. That's sure in English, at least the logo. So we have a Chinese version of a fitness band. What are we actually looking at? Here it is from Gearbest. It's a XIAOMI AMAZFIT heart rate Smartband. Wow! All right. Pricey. I hope it does everything it's worth, or we get a really good discount on this. Wow. All right. What does it do? What's it got? Let's see. It's a ECG chip with Bluetooth 4.0, definitely waterproof. Heart tracker, heart rate monitor, pedometer, sleep monitor, and other functions. An OLED screen with touch key operation. 95 milliamp hour battery, and so forth. And there's the product dimensions. Well, it doesn't tell us a whole lot. All right, what we'll have to do, I guess, is charge it up, turn it on, and download the app and tether it. I'll be back after I get it all ready for you. Well, this won't take very long to show you the band at all, because actually the magic is in the associated app. The band has a button. It's kind of right here. You touch it, you get the time, you let go, and the time will go away. If you touch it a couple of times, you'll cycle through the number of steps, the heart rate display, and then it goes away. And it cycles back again. 99% battery power, time, steps, heart rate, and battery power. That's it. Now, if you want to take your pulse, you just simply get over to the heart rate and you press and hold. And you wait. In fact, I don't even think you need to go to the heart rate. I think at any point you can just press and hold. And it'll give you your heart rate, but you see the little line going across the top? It's kind of taking an average of all of the measurements. Comes up really quickly, and it seems to be pretty stable. When it gets to the very end, which just takes maybe 15 seconds, it'll tell you a reading number. This is the 13th heart rate value. And then a couple of things in Chinese. If you got your translator, put it on the screen, see what that said. And that's it. Then back to time, distance, heart rate, power, and you're back again. That, folks, is all the band does. So let me show you a couple more things about the band, then we're going to switch over to the app. It's got the 2-diode kind of heart rate monitor going on there, and it's got these 2 metal pads, which I think have to do with something new that we're going to show you in the app. And, of course, the charging. We covered that already. But we didn't show you this, that the bands are actually removable. If I press this, now I got to remember the one without the loop on it is on the side where the thing and the panel are. I'm going to press in and lift up, and it'll come out. Press in like this, and push it up. Press and push. There we go, there we go. Okay, and the bands come off. So the little chiclet is available to you. Now, I'm not too sure if you can hold this thing in your hand and get the results. I think you can. And I think what you're about to see, you need to hold the 2 metal plates for a different kind of reading. And of course, here you need to hold to get the heart rate. Oh, it's upside down. And I think those words that are coming on is that the test had failed. You have to do it again. So if I press and hold, there we go. And it should be taking the pulse rate again. So you may be able to just carry this little thing in your pocket if you want to. You don't necessarily have to wear it on your arm, unless, of course, and I think it is, doing regular readings of your bio information while it is on your arm. And if that's the case, you probably want to keep it in the band format on your arm. Once again, finishing up the heart rate and our 13th heart rate value. So what does all that look like on the app? Because that's where you're going to really find your information. Well, deja vu. You remember when we did the review of the original AMAZFIT watch, similar to the Pace, but it was all in Chinese? The whole watch was in Chinese. The app was in Chinese. The manual was in Chinese. Everything was Chinese. Well, we're back to that situation again. I'm going to walk you through the app. Pay careful attention because it's almost all Chinese. The AMAZFIT watch is the English version now that we've been using with the AMAZFIT Pace. The AMAZFIT Health is the quasi-English Chinese app that we're using now with this band. Now you're looking at part of it where it just kind of jumped in here. It's doing a synchronized update now. You'll see some of these things might change. Okay, it's all updated. And I've got 3 tabs across the bottom. This one, and this one. And this is what we're looking at. Well, let me break it down first. Before you go any further and even get to this point, you have to create an account and log in. And that's a lot more difficult than it sounds. When this thing first opens, it's all in Chinese, so make sure you have a phone that you can look at your regular phone with that has the translation capability in it, so you can follow through, because you have 2 buttons, one for login and one for create an account. You got to create an account with your user ID, with your phone number. It requires your phone number and a password to log in. Now, I went through all that and I attempted to get that all set up in this app, and it never would connect. It said, try again later. That was very frustrating. Then I remembered I had the same problem with the AMAZFIT app when I was trying to do it, when it was here, the Chinese version. And the only way I could log in there, I found out from a website in Greece, was to install the MyFit app, MyFit app. Create an account through MyFit, and then inside the app itself for the watch, I could choose to log in through MyFit. Sort of like, in the rest of the world, you'll have a login option for Google or for Facebook, right? You just press that button and it'll connect you through the login credentials of Google and give you permission if you say okay, and then you're all set up. Well, MyFit is similar to that. And so if you create an account in MyFit, this is what I had to do. Create an account in MyFit, then open the AMAZFIT Health app, and in there is where I went in and said to link or log me in using my MyFit credentials, which I was already successfully logged into the MyFit app to get me into the AMAZFIT Health. And I was. But boy, it's it's a pain. When you get in here, you saw I tapped on the tab that has my name, SmartWatch ticks on here, and a bunch of Chinese things that you can kind of figure out. This looks like birth date, at least year and month. This looks like height in feet and inches. This looks like weight. And you go into any of these categories, and you can modify them to your heart's desire and update it. And that gives you the baseline stuff that it needs for further calculations in the app. Then you have these things. These questions have to do with health, and you have to answer or or and I'm not sure which is yes or no. Even with Google Translate, I'm still not sure which is yes and which is no. So I just took the default. I don't even know which one is default, blue or black, and I just said check. So I've answered no, or yes, to these medical questions when you translate They have to do with cardiovascular disease and other things. But you can't get back out of here until you answer these questions. Don't know why, but it's not letting you leave them unanswered. You can do everything in the app as long as you haven't gone into this section. Once you go into that section and you mess with any of the data, then you've automatically got to answer those 4 questions. These are some more questions that I haven't got a clue what they're looking for there either. And at this point, I don't really care. I'm waiting for, just like what happened with the AMAZFIT watch, for there to be an English version of this AMAZFIT fitness app to come out, and we'll be able to do everything we need to do there. Whoa, wait a minute, Mr. Tix. You can't just gloss over this stuff. These guys need to know. Now, I've seen your review, and I know you're going to be talking about things that these questions are really important in answering. So let's get them translated right before we go forward. The first thing is health status right there. It's going to ask you, over the past year, have you taken any antihypertensive drugs? That's here. How many days do you smoke? Is there diabetes? Is there a heart attack? You got to answer those 4 questions. And you got to figure out which is yes and no and get the right answer for that. Then the bottom set of questions have to do with this. Improve the information, get more accurate health advice, which is optional. It asks you, please enter your systolic blood pressure, your high blood pressure, your diastolic blood pressure, your low blood pressure. That's what's these 2. Please enter your total cholesterol and your HDL cholesterol. Why is all that important? Keep watching. This is about friends. It's a place where you can put in your friends and share medical data, I guess, with them, if that's what you want to do. Oops, we bailed all the way out. This is your sedentary reminder. This is your measurement reminder. When you come in here, you can have it remind you by turning this on between certain times that you set here. It will set and vibrate your wrist device to tell you that it's time to take a measurement of your heart rate value. And the sedentary reminder is similar. We're all familiar with that. Your arc will vibrate when you're idle for 1 hour. You see, we're getting a little bit of English. Turn on idle alerts. Start time, end time are all in English. And then you can set a do not disturb time as well. So that part's already been converted. This is just the category heading of the 2 options that you've got. This thing here is where you sync up your band to here. You can set alarms, put in your call notifications, what apps you want to vibrate your band when you receive a notification on your phone. Those are all typical tethering things to notify you when you reach your goal, which you can set in another place for your steps, your SMS verifications, and again, do not disturb time when you don't want your band to vibrate at night, that kind of stuff. And we have 1 device connected. It's called AMAZFIT Health, and you can add other devices apparently to this app as well. So that's starting to make sense. Come on back here. Okay, then you've got, that was all of this, then you've got your overall settings here, which lets you put in your goal and steps. See, this is in English, but this is still in Chinese. Your units in English or metric, and you can mix and match, which is interesting. It's not all one or the other. Your third-party connection, which I'm not really going to go into. One of these is some Chinese connected social network, I think, and the other one was PayPal. And I'm not sure why they want you to connect and give your PayPal credentials, including password, as third party. But I certainly didn't do that, but that's what's in there. And then there's a beta version of something here. that is another health-related thing. And I haven't tried that yet. And if you've got your translator on, you can check out what they're talking about there. That's all in this page, which is off of this page, which was in settings. Then you've got your chat or a feedback thing where you can give them feedback. Like, can you please make an app in English? Quit feedback. English, Chinese, you see, it's crossing over. And a ... for, I guess, more stuff. And here that is. Checking for update. By the way, I did get a firmware update on this band. Not immediately, but after a couple of times of wearing it and linking to the app, it pushed an update. This is a question area, which I was hoping was going to be FAQs or some English explanation of everything going on. And I think it is. You see, here's all the questions and such. But again, it's all in Chinese. So with your translator out and a lot of time on your hands, you can definitely go through that. And here's our version. We're running the AmazeFit Health app, version 2.1.4, and the Sport version is 1.0.99, and privacy agreement stuff. So that covers the background, and that's setup, and that's all under the Me. Then you have this one, which is where you have the training capability. Now, unlike the watch, the AmazeFit watch, where you have all these things in the watch and you pick a run or a walk, and it goes 3, 2, 1, it picks up GPS, you go off doing your thing, and it's accumulating all the data, including your track information and whatnot. This little band thing doesn't have all of that. So in order for this system to work, you have to take the phone with you. You have to initiate the run from here, and it'll pick up the GPS from your phone and I guess do the map and do all of that calculation, but it'll pick up the data, your steps and I guess your heart rate and all those other things directly from the band. So the two will work together for that. And that's what happens in this whole middle section. And these things, it turns out, are little training videos that cover all these different sports, which you can kind of guess from looking at the pictures. All right, I went into the first one, which to me looked like sleeping. I thought, I can handle that one. That's a good one. And if I say begin, the first thing it does is download it. It's giving an introduction. And then it goes for 30 seconds. And you're supposed to hold yourself in the position that's shown in the picture. You can kind of figure it out, what it's doing. I want to show you a little bit more when it gets around for the first 30 seconds where it goes to the next one. There's 13 segments, if you see the little lines down here, in this training exercise program. Now I'm going to test you on 4, 3, 2, 1. All right? You got to get it right. Ready? R-E, go. Okay, your first 3 words in Chinese. At least 2 of those were Chinese. I think this means exit the thing. And one didn't get me out, one did. And now you're back. So with enough memory in your phone and enough time on your hands, you can go through all these different exercises as well related to this particular section. These are the individual little video pieces from that particular training program, of which you have these other ones as well. And over here, we have this, which is your results, I guess, for your different programs. There's your history, which we haven't done. It's already synchronized, and the data would come in here and be accumulated within the app. And that's all related to here. So we have these 2 different sections in the fitness workout. Now, here's the meat of it all. This is where it gets kind of fun, and this is where I'm hoping to get you excited enough to think about this as a possibility, because I'd really like some of you guys to try it out and give us all feedback on what your results turn out to be. There's this section here. There's this section here. We're going to skip those for just a second and come down. Here's your standard heart rate stuff. You see I'm getting a little heart rate thing going here because I've been wearing it for a while. I can't, unfortunately, expand it or do anything if I touch on it, though. I get into this day, and I can touch and get a specific result for that moment, but it's really close together, so that's kind of a challenge. But there's my overall heart rate. I don't know what these are. They look like zones of red, purple, and deep purple. Maybe a level of holding your breath. Who knows? And that's by day. So you can get daily accumulated records of your overall heart rate continuously, day by day, with some sort of ability to go into each area and touch it to get a very quick... Yeah, I guess if I hold my finger. So between 1342 and 1348, I was at 77 pulse rate. A lot of data, but not that you can do much with that. Here's the step count as separated by time increments. We see that a lot in different bands and things. And again, we got the same type of data where we can go day by day and look at the 24-hour period and what your step progress was. And you can click on one, and it'll give you, there's some sort of a Chinese description of that. All right, a little bit more translation, folks, and we'll be there. This I thought looked like a car going down the road, but it's actually looking at the foot of a bed, I believe, because this is your sleep monitoring. And I know that because in English it says no sleep data. And perhaps after a good night's sleep, it would show some sort of sleep data for the night of the 22nd on the 22nd, or maybe this was the night of the 21st that I should be seeing here. Probably on the 23rd, I'll see the night of the 22nd. Anyway, sleep data is accumulated by this too. These are standard. These are new. This is why this thing is over $100, folks. There it is. This is your heart rate variability. All right? And this is your cardiovascular health index. Yay! All right, you happy? What does it mean? You're going to love me for this. Taking the Google Translator, pulling it all off, getting it all typed up, and printing it out. It tells you in pretty good English, I'm very impressed with the translation that happened on this one, what exactly heart rate variability is and why it's an important indicator of autonomic nervous activity. It's regulating your cardiovascular system. And this little puppy, this little chicklet on your arm will give you readings of your heart rate variability whenever you take the measurement. Mr. Tix, let me interject for a second here. The stuff you're talking about, heart rate variability, with a little bit of additional web research in Wikipedia, you can find out that HRV is the physiological phenomenon of variation in the time interval between heartbeats. It's measured by the variation in beat-to-beat interval. So how do you do it? There's these different methods, which include an ECG, blood pressure, and the pulse wave signal derived from a photograph, a PPG. ECG is considered superior because it provides a clean waveform. And as you're seeing in this review, those two little metal plates on the bottom of the band help collect ECG, electrocardiogram information, and you get the picture of your waveform. So I'm assuming that the ECG method is being used to compute heart rate variability. Now, when you go to this resource, it tells you a lot of stuff, but I wanted to clip and put this in because some of you guys might be, especially like millennials, might be thinking, why do I even need to worry about it? Well, it may be because of stress. Having a watch or a device on your arm which could give you an indicator of you've got some stress and emotional strain going on, then perhaps you could take some active role in reducing that and lowering what you're seeing in your band. I keep pointing over here because I actually have it on. I've been playing with it now for a long time and getting some interesting data out of it. This, by the way, this is for entertainment purposes only. Everything you're reading here, we're getting into a lot of detail, is strictly for your enjoyment. Rely on your doctor and your medical professional's advice on anything related to your heart. And just remember, this is a commercial product from China, folks. All right? Just treat it that way. I don't know about the data that you're going to get. You don't know about the data you're going to get, but it's a guideline and it's a toy. So for serious medical information, consult your physician and your health professionals. But this is educational information to know that this thing is supposedly giving you information about your heart rate variability, which psychophysiologically could be related to things happening in your life, emotional strain, elevated stress, anxiety, and things like that. Yeah. All right, let's move on. The second thing we saw was called the Cardiovascular Health Index. And this is what that is. It's based on the Framingham Heart of the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute. I haven't verified any of this, folks. I just printed it out. But this is what they're basing that particular measurement on. And this app will do that. Mr. Tix, let me jump in one more time here. You're getting really deep with this stuff, and we got to get it right. So remember earlier we talked about that filling out the form where you put in all of your medical data that was in here and your HDL and all those kind of things. All of this stuff is right here. And now we're talking about all this business on coronary heart disease with the Framingham risk score involved. Well, this is where all that comes into play. If you go on the web, do a Google, a Wikipedia search, you can find this thing in there, and you can read for yourself that coronary heart disease risk at 10 years in percent, which is what this whole thing is about, it can be calculated with the help of this scoring system. Individuals with low risk have 10% or less in the reading that you get. And that's at 10 years. So that's saying basically out of 100 people, if your score is 10, then 10 of the 100 people could experience cardiac issues in those 10 years. Intermediate risk is 10 to 20, and high risk is over 20%. However, should be remembered that these are arbitrary categories. So set your baseline and watch on whether your numbers are going down or up. And like in golf, you want to get it down with doing certain practices that will improve your ability to extend your life without cardiovascular issues. All right? Now, in this case, millennials, you can take a nap because it's not like directly the stress that we talked about in the other factor. This comes into play primarily with age and stuff that you've been doing and how your body's holding up. So you can see now why we wanted you to put in your age, first of all, your cholesterol information, how often you smoke, your HDL, your systolic blood pressure, and the whole system then can calculate on that little instrument on your wrist. It'll come back with a Framingham risk score, and of course your gender, that will give you information that'll be helpful for your entertainment. It's entertainment. You're going to see your real doctor to get this thing done for real if you really need to. But just for entertainment, you can come up with your likelihood that you may have a coronary issue in the next 10 years. And if you're a man, here's the data for you. These are the categories bracketed on your age: cholesterol, cigarette smoking, HDL and systolic blood pressure. All right, now let's continue. So what does it look like? Well, the first one, when we go into it, looks like this. If I have the band on and I press that button, it activates it to start. And then, if I have time, I'll show you at the end. Then I have to hold the thing with it on my arm, because I don't know whether it's using these or those, or both. I have to press and hold the button. And I presume I got to press it with the other finger opposite my heart instead of just holding it. Well, if it's on my arm, obviously I'm not going to be able to get it with the thumb on the same hand. So it's crossing my heart if I have this on my arm and I press the button, right? Going through my body to get whatever electrical stimulation might be happening on these electrodes or optical through there. Whatever it is, this is the number. I've got 13 this last time, which is in the red zone. Usually red doesn't mean that good, and green is pretty good and blue would be great. But I got 13 there. The earlier one I did is here. And there's the date and time when it happened. An 8, a 19, a 12. So you have your track record across the top of when these things occurred. And 8:29, 11:37, 11:46, 13:30. Some of these may be happening automatically. I did some of them manually, of course, because I've been messing around with it. But you see the times changing up here. Let's do one. You want to do one? It takes a while. It takes like a full minute to go through the whole cycle and everything. We'll come back later and do that. But this is all you get. You get this chart. You get this information. And then you get this chance to relax. This is, as far as I can tell, this is a breathing exercise that you can set the rate of breath, or at least it calculates it for you, perhaps. Anyway, you start this, and you get this thing that says, Chi, Hua, Sorry, that's not Chinese. I just made it up. But you got to breathe. You've got to breathe. You got to exhale. And you wait till it goes all the way down, and you hold your breath at the bottom, and then you inhale. And you hold it, and you hold it, and you hold it, and then you turn around and you let it go, and you go exhale. And you don't get as hyper as I am. This will actually relax you down. It's counting how many times across the bottom. It's giving you a nice bubbling brook and a couple of flying birds that you wish you were doing that now instead of listening to me. And when it's all done, it finishes, and then it drops you back into here, and you've gotten a check mark and a little trophy, and you've accumulated one relaxation moment. How that factors into this, I don't know. Maybe if you take the data rate again, you test it again, you'll get a higher score. But I've got some work to do, and I don't know what I got to do. Maybe just relax and breathe. Maybe get more exercise. Maybe stop making so many videos or get away from electronics. You never know. But that's that. And this is the best. This is fun. I touch this thing, and I get here, and I get this chart. And just like before, I've got different charts. Look at this. They go all the way back to here, my very first one. And it looks like a heart rate kind of a thing, right? It's like actually reading my heartbeat. Check it out. There's the reference one, and then this is like plotted against graph paper, just like your doctor would do. There's the heart information for you. Tells you a little bit of stuff down here, which I think is just the calibration, 10 millimeters per MVs and stuff. But you got a chart. Now, up here you got this, which I don't know what that just did, but I was hoping that there's some way that, it's just syncing. That's the synchronizing symbol. It's yet to be to the point where you could actually export this to somebody who knows and cares, but you can't do that yet. But anyway, I'm scoring 88. I'm happy. I'm up there. I got great pulse things, 89. And each of these are different. So when you look at them, you see that different times you take it, you get different stuff. If you jiggle a little bit, it makes so it's actual data. This is not one of those fictitious things, best I can tell. It's really your heart wave. And folks, this is like the first step to something that could end up being something really cool in the future. So all in all, you got this heart rate type of data available to you. You got the ability at any time to press that button and get ready to hold it down. And when you do, and the right things are covered on the back, it's going to go through this 60-second process of accumulating that data, which I'm not going to do now because sometimes it fails, and I'm pretty sure it's going to fail right now. You notice it bounced out as soon as it lost my connection. And now it's saying it failed. I get this periodically, so it's a little bit testy on getting it just right. But when you do get it just right, oh, I think that was to do it again, you'll get these data charts available to you, and you'll get that other index that we're talking about from before up here. And you got your heart rate data and, of course, steps. So all in all, it's a fitness band, but it's a very unique one focused on heart health and information for entertainment purposes only. Does not substitute for your medical professionals in any way. But it is something you could actually get and start exploring what may end up becoming in the future, what I would call the Internet of Things for health. I saw the President of the United States today meeting with tech giants on how to bring Internet of Things into people. And this is one way, right from your arm, registering your heart information right back in through the internet to the cloud to your doctor, who knows. But you can get this right now. Gearbest has got it. It's the XIAOMI AMAZFIT Heart Rate Smartband. Interfaces with that free app. Definitely a better price than this. Check the show notes for a discount. Might be something worth exploring if this is up your alley. And of course, you also have access to the AMAZFIT Pace watch. Similar but totally different. Doesn't do these two new features, but has all that fitness stuff with GPS built into the watch. And that's available too. So check the show notes. Pick up one of these if you're interested. And a shout out to Gearbest for being, again, on that cutting edge of sending me something that's all Chinese and making me work for it this time. I'll tell you, third time's a charm. I'm going to look at Xiaomi, make sure that I say, send me the English one when it's ready. No, you guys are great. Really appreciate it. It's good to turn people on to new technology. And maybe the English app will be coming out revised soon. That's what's great. They just got to do an update and turn it to English or by language, and we've got it. All right. Thanks again for watching Smartwatch Ticks. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We really, really appreciate your thumbs up when you like them, your subscriptions, and your continued participation with us. What a world we live in. See you again soon. Is this little thing waterproof? I hope so. There it went. Yeah, look at that. It's still working. It's supposed to work. Yep. It's doing my heart thing. Oh, can I get a reading underwater? That would be fun. Nah. Yeah. Oh, there it goes. I love it.